Hey guys, we're Bryan and Nia, and we are couple leads here at New Life in Christ. And this entire month, Bishop has been preaching on restoration and relationships. And today we want to talk to you guys about restoration in relationships, specifically marriages. You know, when you think about that word restoration, it's to take something and take it back to its original place by repairing or cleaning or fixing it up. You know, and we know all about restoration. I remember our first home that we bought, we were about 23, 24. And I can recall walking up to the house. The house was 107 years old. It was built in 1907 in this historic neighborhood, right? And so as soon as we get out the car, I'm looking, the steps are all just crumbled up, and you get up to the door needs replacing. It's a big old house, you know, 3-story home. So we go in and the floors are squeaking and creaking, and the walls are, you know, it's not smooth because it's plaster walls and plaster ceilings, and there was a hole in the floor, and the house was super hot. I'm going on and on, right? The house was super hot because there was no insulation in the house. And I'm looking at the house like, oh, nah, this is not the spot. Let's roll, let's go. But Nia, she has this totally different look on her face as we're walking through the home, and she's like, wow, look at this, look at this. And I'm looking at her like, what? I remember we were in the attic, and she said, we can do this, we can do this. I'm like, this heat done got to you, ain't it? Because there was nowhere in the world, I didn't see nothing there that I wanted, nothing there of value. I didn't see it, you know, but Nia, she was looking at the stairs, how the stairs were made, and all of the original woodwork was still in place, and the high 11-inch baseboards and the 10-foot ceilings and just so many other things, the pocket doors. Yeah. She was seeing all of this potential, and she showed it to me, started pointing these things out to me. Yeah. But when she pointed out to me the potential, I seen obligation, but she seen opportunity. Yeah. And I was like, man, it's a lot of work. You know, we're going to have to do blah, blah, blah. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. But she explained to me, she took the time out, and she started showing me how it's an opportunity and that we can do it. And so we bought the home.
Yeah, we ended up buying it. And you know, it's just like that in marriage. You can identify issues left and right. I mean, that's in the forefront, right? You see that right away. But can you see the value? Can you see the potential? I saw value. I'm thinking, hey, if we put some sweat equity into this, we can double what we paid for this house. I knew that. And then secondly, I saw the potential. I saw the Christmases that we would spend there. I saw how the furniture would look and how the house would feel, and it was regal. I could see the regalness behind the dust and behind the holes and the gaps. And it's about being able to see that in your marriage. You've identified there's trouble, there's problems, there's distance. You've identified that, but can you see potential?
Can you see potential?
I will tell you that you had it at one point. Yeah. Okay. So we know that when you said I do, at one point you were loving, you were in love, you were happy, there was bliss. And then somewhere down that line, you know, some things have happened in life that caused you to veer, or, you know, problems started occurring that it was just too much to keep up with, and you let it kind of overtake you. But I'm telling you that in the restoration process, the first thing is to say to yourself, can I see the potential? Can I see the value? Yeah. If you can see the potential and the value, then identify, okay, I can see it. So what is it going to take for us to get to that point?
You know, and when you think about that, when we bought that house, right? So we bought it. I remember when we bought that house, and we went through the house looking at all the different things that needed to be done. From the basement all the way to the attic, with putting insulation in, new windows in, new doors in, new wiring. It was so much. But what we did is we made a list. And this list was about 3 pages long, man. I'm telling you, just sometimes when we just look at it, it's just like overwhelming. Yeah. But what we decided to do is one thing at a time. This weekend, we're going to work on this. Next weekend, we're going to work on that. The week after that, we just kept, you know, because it wasn't like we was balling and just had money to say, all right, let's just do everything this weekend, you know. But we had to, according to our budget and according to, you know, what we could physically get to, we had to just knock those things off on that list one by one, from changing the pipes to changing the electric, you know, and we did that. We made that list, and we knocked it out.
Right. So in marriage, you may not, and I'm sorry, may not do the trick. It's going to take work. It's going to take time. And, just acknowledging everything at once is not going to fix everything.
That's true.
But take one step at a time. Hey, let's work on our communication. And work on your communication. Focus on what is it going to take to help you connect. Then work on your romance. Then work on finance. Whatever the issues are. Right. And if there's multiple, don't take them all on at once. Yeah. Make your list and just check them off as you're working on each individual thing. If you at point A and you need to get to W, it's a long way from A to W.
Man.
But if I take my time at B and then I go to C and then I go to D and I just work my way, okay, and I'm pacing myself, eventually I'm going to get to W.
Yeah, and you know what? When you have these plans in front of you and you're saying, okay, this is how I'm going to get there. These are all the things that I need to get done. Mm-hmm. You see the potential. You know all A, like you said, from A through W. And now you got to understand this. When you are starting to do the restoration process in your marriage, you got to make sure, or like I say, in your house, you got to make sure that as you're flipping this and doing what you need to do, that you are not doing patchwork.
Right.
Because it's real work.
Yeah.
You're not doing patchwork because it's real work. So in that
home, there's no security.
There's no security. And here's the thing. In that home we bought, it would not be smart of me to go and replace a portion of the wiring that was bad and just put a new piece in with other old bad wiring. No, I had to pull all of that wiring out. We had to replace all of the pipes. We had to replace the floor. Even though it was a wood floor, we couldn't just throw something on top of it, or the walls because it was buckled out. We had to cut the whole wall out and reframe it from the inside out. And when you're thinking about even real heavy duty rehab, sometimes you have to go down and re-pour the foundation.
Yeah.
You have to go down and cut out the bottom of the basement floor to re-pour the foundation because of cracks and things that are allowing water and mold to get in that could, continue to destroy the property.
So same with your with your marriage, you may have to gut out some things.
Yeah.
You can't, it's not business as usual in a restoration process. You are identifying the issues and the underlying issues that cause the issues, which is the condition.
Yes.
And you are stripping away those things. It could be relationships, it could be patterns or behaviors, things that you're doing. Come home early.
Could be
staying
friends.
out late with friends is not going to, if that was a problem, those are things, identify, okay, what are the real issues? And come on, let's gut this thing out and start over and start fresh and see how we can compromise.
Absolutely, to get it back to where you know that it once was.
Absolutely.
And and after you've done all of that, you need to hire a developer.
Yeah.
You need to hire a developer.
Not just any developer, but the great developer. A real estate developer, what they do is they go out, they assess the land. The developer is the boss. That's the money, okay?
Bank,
they make the decisions, okay? They call the shots. And so they determine who's going to build and who's going to build where, the layout, the blue, they hire the architects or the designers. They design, decide how it's gonna look, and all of that. That the developers are the one that make those decisions. And so we have a great developer, and his name is Jesus, and he's given us his spirit to help orchestrate those moves in our life. He specializes in the impossible, and when you look at your marriage and you can say, okay, this is an impossible marriage, I'm going to tell you something. When he established marriage, he's given us only two exits. I know we divorce for all kinds of reasons, but I'm going to tell you biblically there are two reasons, and that's with death, and that's if there's infidelity.
That's right.
Okay, you do have an opportunity to choose divorce if you want to, but he also specializes in the impossible. And if two people who want to be together, who love each other, and they want to make it work, there's no reason why it should not have to work except pride. But help allow the developer to help you recognize pride, because pride will cause you to lose everything. But that developer comes in and he tells you how to move, when to be quiet, when to speak, how to reach the heart of your loved one, when to pray for this, when to speak on this, when to fast on this. He helps you orchestrate the moves that's necessary for the restoration in your marriage.
Listen, and with that, what she was saying about that pride, man, it is so important important to submit to the developer.
Yeah.
Because when you submit to the developer, you will get grace. Mm-hmm. He will give you grace for the days that you make mistakes, for the times. I remember the houses we would paint a wall and say, I don't like that color, let's paint it again.
Yeah.
You know, but the one thing I really love about the developer is we may go into this neighborhood looking for a new house to live in, but that old lot that was across the street and the old homes that were condemned on the side of where you were wanting to build or where you were wanting to restore, that developer, he just doesn't restore your home and rebuild your home. Every home on the block, all the homes next to you, that old trashy lot across the street from you is now a coffee cafe, you know, and he just does above and beyond. He exceeds what we need. And because it's important, when you're married, it's important to be connected to a lot of like-minded couples who are pushing their marriage.
That's true.
Don't be, you know, if you're married, I'm not saying don't hang with or have friends that are singles, but if you're married, get you some good married folk that can help sharpen you, that can help edify you, encourage you to win at marriage, you know. And the one thing I would say this is that, you know, we have a great ministry here with couples. Continue to connect with the couples here, you know, and if you want to connect with even more, Nia and I have a marriage ministry to have and to hold, you know, and you can connect with us with other like-minded couples. You know,
to stay connected.
That's right.
Just the main
you gotta
thing.
stay connected. You have to stay connected. So at the end of the day, guys, make sure, if you don't hear anything else that we said today, make sure that you know this. God can restore what was once there. He can restore it. It's according to the power that is at work in you. Let God's power work in you. Let it work in your marriage. And we want to congratulate you first and foremost on a restored marriage and relationship. God bless you guys.
God bless you.